collision with purpose, in pursuit of purpose.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to In the Spotlight, the home of unfiltered conversations. This is where real talk is what we do. My name is none other than Donna Thompson.
And I'm Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and welcome to another edition, as Donna said it. Oh my gosh, In the Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, another Monday is here.
It goes by so fast. Before you know it, it's like Monday's here. The weekend is
just like that. It's Monday again. And another episode of In the Spotlight. That's one of the beautiful things about coming up on a Monday. You know, we get to do this again and again.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I like about it is that even though we're in the evening, program, but it kind of also helped to set the pace for your week, right? It helps to, give you some motivation and a little bit of inspiration to go some more, fight a little bit more, and get you started on a good week.
Yeah, gear you up and build you up and just position you. You know, in the morning you do your stuff, you're looking forward to In the Spotlight, and then boom, here we are at 7:30 and we're live. And it's so awesome. And so we have so much to talk about tonight. We have a packed show. We have an awesome guest coming on, right? And we'll introduce her later. But we have some other things happening. We have some other big things going on, right?
We always have a lot of stuff going on. Yes, we certainly do. Of course, do you want me to talk about some of the stuff we have going on, Doc?
Yeah, let's put it out there. Let's get it out there. Let's talk to our viewers, let them see what's up.
Yeah, so as we know, one of our, we just got over our great, wonderful colloquium that we had a few weeks ago. And now we're full speed ahead in planning and putting everything together for our trip that is happening September 12th through the 20th, 2024. We're returning to Kenya to do some more community outreach work and just, networking with a community there and building community, trying to build community. So we're in full planning and executing mode right now to pull that trip off.
And how's the planning coming on? How's the planning going?
So far planning is coming along very well. I would say we already know our initiatives that we're going to be doing. We know the places where we're going to be staying once we arrive into Nairobi. And we know exactly, how many days we're going to stay in Nairobi, how many days we're going to be in Kitale. So we already have the whole agenda pretty much planned out. Of course, there's some tweaking here and there. However, pretty much we have a packed agenda. So it's going to be exciting. And of course, it's definitely work. There will be fun as well, but of course, we're going to be doing some work. So,
So
and then also even in the planning, we have a whole team in Kenya that is preparing and getting stuff ready and working real hard behind the scenes and everything, just getting ready for us to arrive in September.
So there is work, and then there's some tourism element as well to September, Kenya 2024, reaching out, reaching up, the Kenya experience, 2024 experience. I think that's how we're billing it, right?
Yes.
So, and the experience is in the work and in the tourism piece. Getting to know Kenya, getting to learn about Kenya, the culture, the people, meeting people. Man, that is so exciting. I just can't wait. Can't wait. In fact, I have a quick video I want to play about what's going to be happening in Kenya. How about it?
All right, share that.
Nice and sweet, taking over experience, right?
I can't wait.
You know, I remember when we went to Kenya last year, and when we landed at Nairobi airport, and what a feeling, right? What a feeling, what a feeling. You know, let us share with our viewers that we're on live. If you're watching, you know, connect with us in the chat. Tell us what's on your mind. Ask questions. If you want to know more about the initiative, the September initiative, ask questions. When our guests come on, if you have a question for our guests, don't hesitate to ask questions, because that's what this show is about. As Donna said, unfiltered, raw. There's no question that you cannot ask, and we welcome all questions as a result. And hopefully we can have an answer. We will have an answer for your question. What else is happening, Donna?
So of course that's our big event coming up. And then, once again, we're right into planning phase for 2025 colloquium. We already have the date. It's going to be February 24th, 2025. And will be taking place at the Shiloh High School in the theater once again. So date, place is already reserved. And that's once again in the making. We're planning for that. And that's something to look forward to. So I would just encourage individuals that if you weren't there this year, you definitely missed an event. Connect with your friends and family, because they'll tell you definitely missed an event this year. But plan to be there next year. Tickets are already on sale, so you have the opportunity to go ahead and reserve your seat now. So I would take advantage of that to go ahead and reserve your seating as well. But that's coming up, and that's big planning as well. So we have big things on our plates that we're working on. And of course, you're looking at volume 2 of A Collision with Purpose. That's already in preparation. So that's also in the making. And of course, if you are interested in having an input with A Collision with Purpose, or just wanting to work with A Collision with Purpose, definitely reach out to us. And you can definitely check us out on the website, acollisionwithpurpose.com, and reach out to us, and let's hear what your thoughts are and what you'd like to do, and what you want for your future as well. You never know how you may collide with your purpose just by engaging with us.
Yeah. A couple of things I want to touch on that you just said, and one of them is get your tickets. Get your tickets for the colloquium 2025, right? February 24th, 2025. Get your tickets early, because that is going to be a sellout. And it is likely that if you don't get your ticket early enough, the location, the venue only hold 450. and we can't go over. So, book, reserve your spot, get your tickets, get more than one, share it with a friend. It's going to be Black History Month, in fact. So we will be celebrating Black History Month. And that is going to make it even more important when we're talking about purpose. So get in there, get your tickets, and just come on board. We're looking forward. We're also doing interviews. We're doing interviews again about In Pursuit of Purpose. If you believe that you have a story to share about how you collided with your purpose and the work that your purpose is doing for others, now that's a key piece. It's not just about you having a collision with your purpose, but what are you doing with it? How are you using your purpose to affect lives, impact others? So if you have a story about your purpose and you want to share it with us, you never know, you could be in that book, In Pursuit of Purpose. We have stories as well. However, there can always be a more compelling story. So reach out to us for an interview and let's get it on. Let's get it on. The next thing that I want to talk about is, you said we're doing that book, volume 2. Oh, most definitely. We'll also upgrade and update, revise the Unearthing New book. We'll add some more, critical, important lessons in there, exercises. And we're doing one more book as well. We're going to keep that. That book is coming out in September. And I don't know if it's appropriate to drop the name. Is it appropriate to drop the name?
I would hold on to it.
You're gonna hold on to the name? Yeah, so that will be coming out. And that's going to be another powerful piece. I promise you that. That is going to be a piece that hits straight, in the brain and the heart. It's going to be emotional, but it's also going to be practical. It's going to be compelling. And it's about uplifting others. That's what we do here on this platform and at a Collision with Purpose, period. So going to Africa in September is a big, big deal. And I'm going to play a video inviting our friends, whoever believe that this is the work they're called to do, to jump in and take part in what we're doing. Lives with reaching out, reaching up. Friends of the A Collision with Purpose movement. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson. Today, I am appealing to you to join Hope and Destiny Foundation, Touch and Restore, and A Collision with Purpose movement in igniting hope and transforming lives with Reaching Out, Reaching Up, Kenya 2024 experience. This community-based initiative is dedicated to uplifting those in need. Together, we can make a difference by empowering communities, fostering education, and providing essential resources. I invite you to be a part of this incredible journey towards positive change. Your support can turn dreams into reality for countless individuals across Kenya. Let us unite, reach out, and lift each other up and be a part of something bigger than us. I see you in Kenya. Thank you and blessings always. All right.
Yeah, man. I see you in Kenya 2024.
Right. To be a part of something bigger than us.
That's so important.
That's what the work is all about. The work is not about us. It's about us doing the work. Right? And from doing the work and to see the smiles, how other people are benefiting from it, people who really need it. And that just reminds me that, about the scholarship, our scholarship business. If you purchase a book, one of our books on our website, you are supporting the Collision with Purpose Scholarship Fund, right? You are connecting monies to an individual somewhere who otherwise would not have it, will not be able to pay their tuition to go to school. So that's what you're really doing. So go out there and get a copy of the book, buy it on our website. $5 of each book purchase will be donated to a Collision with Purpose Scholarship Fund. So how about that, Donna?
Yeah, that's awesome. I definitely I encourage everyone, not even just to purchase, purchasing the book. It's a great read. It really is. You read those stories, it's going to impact you some way, somehow. I'm quite sure when you read the stories, it's one of those stories will resonate with you because we all have, had challenges in our life. And, the great thing that we're doing, of course, like what Doc just said, is a portion of that will go back towards the scholarship. So how great is that, right? You purchase something, you have something tangible, but you know that a portion of that is even going back to children who are really in need. And I think that's just a great way to, it's almost like, it's just a win-win. It's a win-win all the way around. So I definitely encourage, to go on our website and purchase your copy today.
Purchase your copy today. That's what it's all about. And help a child, help a student. Go back to school, right? Get back in school so they can focus on what is important at this stage, right? All right. So I think this is a good time to take a break. We have our guest. She's sitting in the green room. Can't wait to bring her on. You should see that smile on her face. Oh, she's going to bless our listeners, our viewers today. Just can't wait to bring her on. So what do you say? We take a break. It's a promo break, right?
Yes.
We got to pitch our business. Isn't that how it works?
Have to.
So let's pitch our business, all right? And then we'll come back and we'll bring Nadia on. We're going to give her the drum roll, in the spotlight drum roll. Then we pop her on the screen, and then we'll have heavy-duty, raw, unfiltered conversation. All right? So it's break time.
Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing.
You know,
I
every
love that
time,
song.
every
Gosh.
time I hear that song, we're going to be releasing that song on either the A Collision with Purpose label or my original company, Axiom Records label. But we'll be releasing that song soon, and we'll have a video. That song is performed by, you like to say, none other than Ty Swayze.
Mm-hmm.
And it's produced by, Shella Top Star. And of course, it's on my record label. So very, just so happy about that song. Powerful, powerful words. We should also say good evening to Pastor Lexi, Money Mastery. What a show we had with her on.
Oh my gosh.
What a show we had with her on last week. And of course, Patrick, Minister Kisiangani. Patrick is on. So welcome on, Patrick. And thanks for staying up. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday in... There you go. Powerful song indeed. It's Tuesday in Kenya, and Patrick is one of them type of guys who don't seem to sleep. He's always up,
He's
no
always
matter what time of the day it is, what time zone. He's where he needs to be. All right. Yes, powerful song indeed. So, Donna, let's get to the real business at hand for tonight. We have a special guest.
Yes. We have a special guest. And oh my gosh, I absolutely love this young lady. She is phenomenal. She's sweet. Just the greatest spirit person that you can be around. I absolutely admire her. And I have worked with her on a number of projects, and her patience is none other because she's always patient with me and helping me. But besides that, she is just a phenomenal person who, through her organization, My Sister Keeper, she has been able to give back to so many different organizations, and she's going to tell you all about herself. So before I get into all the stuff about her, and then I take everything from her, and then she has nothing to say about herself, we're going to welcome none other than Miss Nadia Monsano.
And there she is.
Listen, you guys have me with this drum roll, okay? How are you guys doing today? Thank you so much for having me.
Doing great. Donna said it all, and that's why you're here. All that stuff Donna is saying about you. You came up with that phenomenal woman thing, eh?
Yes,
That
Phenomenal Woman Awards.
Wow.
Yes.
What a big thing that is.
Absolutely. I have been just privileged enough to work with some amazing ladies who do some things, and including Donna. And I realized that no one was really shining a light on them, and I wanted to show that you don't have to be a celebrity to walk the red carpet and get an award and a light shine on you. You can be a thought leader as myself and see the goodness in someone and say thank you for everything that you do in the community, and I would love to award you and show you great things. So that's how I ended up starting the Phenomenal Woman Award, and each year surprises me. It grows every year, and I love, of course, the give back. Thank you, Dr. Lexi. I appreciate that, and it's been my pleasure to donate to your organization as well for your trips. So I get to partner with people like Lexi and people like you, Dr. Laxley, who do amazing things in the community. And just knowing that I can support your organization that actually goes out and support a community brings great joy to myself.
And that's why it was so important for A Collision with Purpose to honor you.
Thank you.
It's one thing for you to be giving out all these awards.
Right.
At some point, you need to be on the receiving end, and no more fitting a person for an award. And so it was such a pleasure and honor for us to honor you.
Thank you. Yes, I've always been the giver, right? So whenever someone gives me an award, it is I don't do it for the awards and the accolades, but when I do get awarded, it's a special moment for me as well to know that people in the community are seeing myself doing the right things, and are is saying thank you. So it is always an honor when someone says, Nadia, thank you for what you do. It definitely brings joy to myself as well.
And for our viewers, I should say Nadia has been on this program before as a guest host, but tonight is the night that the spotlight is all on Nadia.
Right.
So what is happening in Nadia's world? Talk to us. You got a big thing coming up. Is it in May?
On May the 4th, yes, I am going to be, along with my other co-authors, we have my anthology book launch that's coming up, and it's called The Beautiful Face of the Invisible Illness, Masking the Pain We Endure. And there are 17 ladies who came together, and we talked about our illnesses that we go through. But when we show up on lights, camera, action, we don't look like what we're going through when we get off the camera. We go behind closed doors, and the medications that we have to take or what we have to do to literally go through our day. So I'm getting ready to have our book signing. And we also going to turn that into a health summit. So we have some experts. Thank you so much, Lexi. We have some experts that are going to be coming to talk to us about knowing your numbers, knowing your health numbers, and why that is important. And then I think, not the most important part, because of course the most important part is this book signing, but we're going to show the documentary. I had the ladies do a interview and talked about their life and how they go through life with this illness. So we're going to be showing that documentary as well at this at our event. And I know that's going to be a bit of a tearjerker, but we're going to have a good time in Maryland on May the 4th.
May the 4th. My co-host, Donna, is in the book.
Yes. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And of course, for those of you who cannot make it in Maryland on May the 4th, I work my logistic magic, and we will have a virtual option as well, that you can see the documentary and you can participate on the day of as well, virtually.
Well, you're an expert at putting on those virtual shows, man. You really put them on, don't you, Donna? Mm-hmm. In fact, we're looking at your virtual shows and we're planning our show and said, oh, Nadia got it going on with them.
It took a lot of planning, but definitely enjoy. I just don't want anyone to feel, of course, left out, right? Because there's so many people who are interested, and I have followers from all 50 states, right? So I wanted everybody to feel a part of the book launch, especially my co-authors. So we are going to be celebrating virtually and in person together, and it's going to be, we're going to have panel discussions. So we have a lot of different entertainment going on. So it's going to be a good 3 hours spent with each other.
Are you able to share a little tidbit, a little bit of highlight from any of the stories? Are you able to share that?
Yes, I can actually just, share my own journey. A lot of people don't know that I suffer from chronic high blood pressure. And I went through my 20s and into my 30s, and your body gives you these signs, right? And that's one of the things we want to talk about in the Health Summit. Listening to your body. Listening to when your body gives you that sign. Is that headache lasting longer than an hour? That's a sign that you need to go get something checked, right? Is your vision getting blurry ever so often? That's a sign that something is going on, right? So I've been neglecting those signs because I'm like, okay, yeah, I just worked a little bit too long or too late, so that headache is just going to pass later on. And we make excuses for these symptoms that go on and on. And then one day, the symptom caught up with me. And what I can share out of the story, because I definitely want you to get the book, or my shameless plug, is what I went through when my heart had to stop and get restarted again. And that moment that, I explained how I had to go through that moment and realize that, yep, it's really time to take heed on my health. But I want people to understand that, don't wait till that moment of, I don't want to say danger, but that moment where it's too late, or you got to the point of in the hospital when you could have just taken care of what you did prior to getting into the hospital. So I talk about my journey through hypertension, and then I have, of course, other authors who talk about, like I have a author who's going through lupus or chronic asthma. And when they shared that story with me, I had absolutely no idea that that was something that they went through, because they did not look like what they were going through. So we want to bring awareness that people may seem with a great smile, but you're not sure what's going on behind that smile. And I wanted to bring a community together to let them know that it's okay that you have an illness, making sure that you're taking care of yourself. But you now have a community of 17 other ladies who you can lean on and support, and get support from or advice from, to let you know how are we really getting through our day. So that was the purpose of the vision for The Beautiful Face of the Invisible Illness.
I have two more questions before Donna starts hitting you up with her questions. And actually, one of my questions is going to be for Donna. But before I even go there, how can our viewers, access a pre-order of your book? Or you have a pre-order link out?
Absolutely, yes. They can definitely go to my website, mysisterkeeper.biz, B-I-Z, and on my author tab, you will be able to find a pre-order link for our books.
Yeah, we need to get that up here in the chat so we can,
Oh, yes, I can
definitely, because that's we need to get in line to get with the book, to get, because one of the things about the stories, it's not really just you telling a story, but those stories will have an impact, will make a difference in someone's life. So so it's a big deal for us to read and learn from each other, and to grow from each other. And so before I turn things over to Donna, my question for you is, what was the experience like, in your participating in this anthology, this big anthology?
It was a great experience, of course, because it's always good. I kind of like when with the anthology, because you don't have the burden of being by yourself to actually do the work. You have a team of individuals, so you can, kind of lean on when you're stuck or you need help or something of that nature, or just encouragement. So I found that, that experience was good. The experience of the documentary was a little bit different, because I did a documentary before. So this time it was a little bit different, because it was virtual. My interview process was virtual. So we had to do a couple retakes and stuff like that. But it was I found that to be quite exciting, to be honest with you. Because so I'm curious to see what the documentary is actually going to look like, because it was very interesting. But that was, so overall it was, it's definitely a good experience. And for myself, I find that it's easy and it's difficult, right? When you're writing a story about yourself, it's like it's in your head, and you know exactly what you want to write. It's not like you have to make it up, right? Because it's your story. However, the difficult part of it is that when you're writing it, you're having to relive that experience. You're having to relive every moment, every experience when you're writing. And then, of course, once you finish writing, then you have to read it and then you have to talk about it. So that's the difficult part about writing. But I also find it to be healing as well, because you're getting it out. So you're having to deal with whatever that is. So overall, it, you know, a good experience.
You know, get it out of you. You don't only get rid of it, right? Only hold on to things that serve you well. That's
And
what
when
I.
you're writing, you tend to, even when you're writing, you'll find that you still want to hold a little bit back. You still wanna, you're like, oh, I don't want to put that in there. Let me take that out. Let me rephrase that.
I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save this piece. I'm not giving this away.
Right, exactly. So it's really, you know, it's a mind thing as well, right? It's a mind thing, because you wanted to put it out there, but you're also, to a certain degree, almost like safeguarding it as well, right?
Wow.
So it's yeah, and I don't think I don't think it's like you're safeguarding it for the person. It's I don't know. It's almost like it's, I guess, the critics that come after is why sometimes you tend not to want to put everything out there. It's good.
Can it be a case that I can't tell this part? I don't want anyone to know this part.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It absolutely can. Yeah. But but I tell you, once you embrace it and you're okay with it and you put it on paper, it's the most it's the lightest feeling. It's the most fulfilling, because now you've let it go and
release.
You've released it. Yeah. And when they say like that story now, it no longer belongs to you, it is so true, because it's no longer yours, because you just released it.
You know, it's so interesting that you're talking about that. And interviewing so many individuals, and always some reluctance, right? Hesitating. I don't want to talk about these things. But once they come on the program, they want to come back. They believe they didn't share it all. I have more to say, is what they're saying. I didn't share it all. So, once you get past that get across that first bridge, that overcome that first barrier, you tend to feel a little, somewhat empowered and really feel like I have a story to tell that can make a difference. So why not? Let's do it. Let's get it out there. So we're talking to our viewers. If you are listening online with us, and if you're watching the replay, and if you have something in you that you need to release, get rid of it. Come talk about it. Talk about it. Write about it. And not only are you releasing it and helping yourself, you're also providing some information out there that others can learn from and grow from. So don't hold on. Don't be that reservoir. Be a river and let it flow.
Yeah.
Donna.
And definitely write it. There is something, I'm telling you, there is something very profound in writing and healing. I don't know. It's like, it's one thing you can talk about something and you'll talk about it over and over and over and over again. But there's a power in when you put that pen to paper and you write that story out, and it's like it's just a phenomenal healing and release that you get.
Well, I can tell you that firsthand. I'm in the real estate business. When we talk, as opposed to when we make an offer in writing, it's carries a whole different set of weight. Talking is just one thing, but you put it in writing, it's a whole different ballgame, right?
Right.
So anyway, let's talk to Nadia here, man, because Nadia was in the military.
Yes, I was. I went straight from high school. I was one of those recruits that they got me to sign up, right? To get into the military at 18. Did my 10 years in the US Army. I did one tour in Afghanistan for a year. I was in a year in the desert. And then when I came home, I was like, yeah, it's time to get out. And that's how I ended up getting out after 10 years.
Wow,
Wow.
that's big. That's big. You know, I'm a military guy myself. You know, I did what 8, 9 years Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
Air Force, you know, and of course I didn't go to Afghanistan. My time was before Afghanistan, but that must have been quite an experience in the desert there.
Yes, yes, it was. It was no longer, you know how in the military you have basic training and you have, you train technically you're training for these type of things, right? But in the
Mhm.
back of your mind, you're like, yeah, I'm not going to go to war. I'm just going to go in and, get my benefits and stuff like that. But then when you actually deploy, and I remember the day when 9/11 happened, I was stationed in Fort Hood, Texas. And as soon as those Twin Towers went down, the entire Fort Hood got locked down. You could not enter and you could not leave. And our commander came out and let us know, what's going on. And we just knew, like, we're getting ready to go to war at some point, right? But we talked about it. But the actual you get your orders, right? You get your letter that says you're going to be deployed X, Y, and Z, and I read that like, wait, that's it's not playtime, right? This is for real. Like, we're not pretending when we go out in the woods and we shoot our rifle at a target. Now I'm really going into wartime situation, and you don't know what to expect, right? I've never been to war. I've never done these things. So it was definitely an experience, and in one of my, as you guys were talking about writing books and writing and being in anthologies, you never know all the experiences that you go through makes you want to, of course, share that story and write it, right? So one of the anthologies that I am in with Dr. Letitia Nicole Beatty is Her Story 3. And I've never shared before because I never really could have talked about that experience of having to make a very difficult decision while I was deployed in Afghanistan. And I would say this, it was either I'm going home or I'm not going to go home, and I need to make a decision, right? I was actually placed in that particular scenario, and I came home, right? But that has that has what's the word? Emotional impact, and I never could have talked about that story before now when I finally shared that story in her book, because it was very tough decisions that you have to make, and you're trying to just get back home to your family. And I think of it as I slept on a cot in the middle of the desert in tents for 1 year, surrounded by sand. Okay. So when I came home and I saw green grass, you ever be so happy for the littlest things? Like, we came off of that flight and there was green grass, and we all, and when I say we all, my whole platoon, we all fell to the ground and laid in the grass and just laid there for a while because the grass was something that we hadn't seen in a year because we were in the desert, like sandstorms desert, so and of course you're going through the bombings and they're trying to infiltrate your camp, and I had to pull night duties, and I mean it was an experience that I did go through
Yeah,
An entire year. Wow.
for a year.
wow,
For a year.
and war games are different than war, right? Quite a
That
distinction.
part, yes,
Quite a distinction.
yes.
War games are different, and it's one thing to go on a temporary duty assignment and they say deployment. There it is. It's real time.
It's real.
I don't know if you know what we're talking a little bit of military stuff, Donna, but deployment is when you're deployed to a war zone.
Mm.
Military is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing, and
of course.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I encourage. It's an experience. It toughens you up. It strengthens you.
Yeah.
It
build character.
Build character, and just make you a stronger and more defined in your approach, and so forth and so forth. But
yep,
there's that but when all of serving in the military is fun, I said, but when it comes to wartime, it's a whole different ballgame. All that training you receive kicks in, even though you don't even know you have it in you. Like you said, Nadia, you went there, you've never been there, but guess what? You're learning all this stuff, and they just jump in. Yep. Just as life, right? Mm-hmm. Just as life is everywhere else.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. Because again, for me, that's where, again, like I said, I went right out of high school, right? So I learned my leadership skills, through the military, because I went through all my ranks. Of course, I became platoon leader, sergeant, things of that nature. So I got all of my leadership style or leadership skills from the military. So it is definitely a place where you can grow and develop there. But right, like Dr. Laxley says, now you have to deploy into unforeign territories, right? Very quick story. I remember, because I was in the commander's office, right? So I did all of the logistic work, administration work, and things of that nature. So I was the ones putting out the orders and things of that nature. And working with the supply sergeant one day, he came in because I had to sign for a package, and right before we deployed. And when he came in, he dropped the package on my table, and I'm signing, and I'm like, what are these things? And I open it up, and it was literally our get chills every time I say it. When I opened up the package, there were the black bags that I had to sign for, because those were our body bags that we had to travel with in case something happened to us, to my platoon or leaders. I had to sign for their body bags and make sure all of our dog tags were in that body bag as before we get ready to deploy, because we needed to make sure, of course, God forbid something happened, we had to send our soldiers back home in the right body bag. And that's when I knew this was not for fake. This was for real, right? And that opened my eyes to a lot of different things.
Donna, Nadia just said something about the dog tag. I think I still have mine, Nadia.
Oh, I have mine. Oh, yeah. We gotta have that.
You gotta have that. It's interesting they call it the dog tag.
I know, right? But
that you see some of these musicians wear this thing around their neck with the rectangular thing, and but that's your thing. That's your thing. That's your tag.
That's your identity. That's your identity. Yeah. It has your name, social, blood type. Like, it has everything on there, so that if you're allergic to something, whatever is needed in case you have any kind of medical thing happening to you there. And, unfortunately, I did have to send some of my soldiers home and make sure their dog tag is tied to their boot and their flag and stuff like that. So those were the moments where it was very surreal for me, right? Very surreal. But for some reason it toughened me, right? Like, I feel like I went through these things in the military so that when I came to the civilian world, and if someone passed in my family, not that I don't miss them or I don't shed tears, I do, but it's not as bad as it would have been if I hadn't been through these experiences before, so it is a learning experience.
That's my brother posting there. He can relate to being in the desert during the Iranian hostage crisis. So, he that was an interesting time there as well when he went away to the desert. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, but with all that said, you know, we have a country that we need people to protect the country, right?
Yeah.
And without the military, what do you do?
Yeah.
We just trust that we have the right leaders making decisions, good decisions.
The right decisions, right? Exactly. I know most people, like even at my job that I have right now, they're like, you were in the military? Like, I can't see you yelling at someone. I was like, you don't want me to put on the military hat, right? So you know, just even this morning we were joking about like they said something and I was like, no, this is how we're doing it, right? And they're like, oh yeah, the military, Nadia has spoken, so let's not even like question her right now. But it definitely built character, built strength for me. I know, like going through the gas chamber, when I came out of that gas chamber, you couldn't tell me I couldn't do anything I set my mind to. Like coming out of there and surviving that was like epiphany for me. Imagine a gas chamber did that for me, right? But it was like, I can just get through this and my mental capacity is there. I can get through anything. And that's just how I go through life now. Like, just get mentally prepared for it and just go for it.
You're bringing back too many memories for me. I remember donning that charcoal outfit that the JC assembled. You're so, first of all, it's so hot in that thing.
It's hot.
Right? It's so hot, and you're in that chamber, right? And they put in that gas on you, and you know,
and then you know, they want you to talk, and I'm like, you talk. Do you see I'm choking?
What was interesting is when we had to go to the range with the outfit on, you know. So it was great time. Donna, yes. I don't know, you missed that opportunity.
Yeah, you're missing out of the military stuff. So let's bring it back.
Well, I tried, I attempted, but when I heard the training, I was like, not for me.
Not for me.
So we're in the spotlight, right? We're talking to Nadia, 10-year veteran, the Army, done seen time, deployed in Afghanistan, in a real foreign country with all kinds of different terrain, and she's seen it all. And you wonder why Nadia is just holding her own and ahead of the curve. You're getting some of that information tonight, because going through what you went through is one way to prepare you for light work. This is light work.
Like, I got this.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of toughness you get.
Oh yeah.
When you serve in the military, and that just stays with you. You know, it just stays. You're able to just shake things off when it comes at you. Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize, but that's the part of the foundation that you know, grow you and prepare you for now. Yeah,
absolutely.
So Donna, we have a topic that we wanted to bring up, and we've touched on some of it. Do you want to say something about that? And
yeah, sure. So, you know, of course, April is the month of so many different things happening with self-awareness, wellness, stress management, and then, you know, all about health and wellness. So we definitely wanted to kind of talk about that this evening, and how we're coping, some of us, how we're coping with, you know, especially our stress level, because everybody's stressed out. Everybody, if someone says that they don't have stress, I'm telling you right now, they're lying. Because there is, whether it's your health or your finances or just what's happening in the world, there is something that inflicts some type of a stress, right? It's just a matter of how long it lasts and how you deal with it. But yeah, so we wanted to, you know, talk about, you know, some of that stuff, you know, how we're dealing with some of the stress that's happening around us, and, you know, how we're taking care of ourselves, right? Because, you know, within the stress, you got to figure out how to manage it and to take care of yourself, you know, with that as well. So
can we take a quick break and then come back in the last segment and go into this? Well, we don't want to take on the stress, but we're going to talk about the stress.
We have to all about wellness.
Okay, so this song, A Collision with Purpose, will prepare us to
Yes.
talk about the stress. How about that?
There you go.
Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. It is my decision to be in alignment with my purpose. Let's talk about
Powerful
that stuff.
words. Powerful words.
Yes. Let's talk about that stuff, Donna and Nadia.
Yeah, I think you know, it's the words. I mean, just it's your decision to be in alignment. You just have to be intentional, right? Intentional about everything that you're doing, and know that you are in control of your destiny. You're in control of your happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just choices, right? Choices that you make. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have to be intentional about what it is that you want to do.
Right.
Yep.
You know, you said something that was so profound that don't tell me you don't have stress. It's how you manage that stress. That's what it's all about, right? And the more intentional, the more you are in aligned with your purpose, the more you're in a better position you are to manage that other stuff that is stressful. It's easier to walk away from it when you know you're doing the stuff that is really working, right? The things that you're really here to do.
Mhm.
You can say, that's a problem, but I'm good because I've got these things happening, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about stress, and you started talking about that before the break. Let's pick back up on that because that's a big, big issue we're having, right, Nadia?
Absolutely. And like you said something profound. Yes, we have to be able to handle the stress, but you also have to know when you are at your peak of being stressed out, what is your coping mechanism, or what do you have to do to get yourself back down to level set, right? Perfect example is, where I work is a very stressful environment. And last week I got to my breaking point. And you have to know when you're at your breaking point and be okay in knowing, listen, if I don't stop right now and take a hold of my mental, I'm going to be really stressed out for the rest of the week, and then that will lead to other things. And for me, having high blood pressure and stress in the same combination is not a good combination for myself, right? So I had to say, you know what? I need a mental break. I need a week, right? And people were looking for me for a week, and I'm just like, just give me a week, right? I got to get myself back down to a level set where I can communicate better with you. Because if you ask me a question and I'm snapping at you, my stress level is way too high, right? So you have to do self inventory of yourself, knowing when you are at that peak of stress. Take a step back, take that moment for yourself, because if you continue going, then medical things may happen later on, right? So that's why I know my level. I know my what's the word I'm looking for? I know when to say, okay, no, I need to take a moment. And for me, it's being silent, right? I can't take all of the stuff coming at me all at the same time. So I know I need a moment of silence, get myself regrouped, and then I can come back and, oh, you can throw whatever you want at me. I got you. But I need to be able to, you need to be able to know your trigger and when you get to that peak and when to stop and rest.
Mhm. There's a saying in Jamaica, probably in Barbados too, pressure bust pipe.
Pressure bust pipe. We have that saying in Trinidad. Yes. We have that exact same saying.
Oh my God.
So that's where you got to back off, release some of the pressure. If not, you'll have that boom.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. It's real stuff when you talk about stepping back, take time out, because everybody, there's a tolerance. We all have a level, right? And for each person it's different, and not just that, for each situation, whatever the stressor is, there's a stress in you, because there's some things that are more personal, more touching things, that can really take you out there. So Donna, let's talk. Let's get your take on this thing here where we're talking about stress, because this is going to be our pitch this month. We're going to talk about stress.
Right. I think, just like what we're saying, you have to be honest with yourself, right? And know it's kind of like really looking in the mirror and knowing yourself and what your tolerance level is, and being honest, being honest with yourself, as far as what you can deal with. But I think also it's having, knowing how to take care of yourself, of course, and knowing how to rejuvenate and recharge is definitely important. But I also find that having a safe place to where you're okay with being authentic in what's bothering you, and knowing that you have a support system, for when those instances happen where you're about to, what you say, bust pipe, you can go to those resources. But I think that's very important, because a lot of people, they're living in this high stress life and they don't have a safe place, and then what happens is then you see it come out in various behaviors. They snap at people, or or sometimes, people, even you see someone fall down and they pass away, have a massive heart attack, or who knows, or something. And, you look and you be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that person was sick. Like, what happened? Or, you say they flipped out. Why they flipped out? Like, they seem so happy and jolly, and, how could they do that? But once again, you don't know people's life, right? And what they're going through. So, I think for a lot of us, is just really finding that happy place, and having a safe place where that you can go and you can kind of release and talk about whatever it is that's bothering you. And then coming up, have a game plan. Have a game plan. Like, when I get to this point, how do I recenter myself? Do I need to, like Nadia, I need to be quiet. I don't need to have all this stuff coming in. Do I need to go read? Do I need to go sit under a tree? Do I need to go to the beach? And being okay with that, being okay with having your me time to take care of yourself and your mental state, right? I think those things are important, and not feel guilty about it.
It's okay to be okay.
Yeah, man.
It is okay to choose to be okay. In fact, it's a good thing. And whatever it is that is a stressor in your life, it is advisable. It's a good decision to walk away from it, to leave it in the rearview mirror, whether it's a person, a situation, a job, a whatever. Right?
Yep.
There's
Definitely.
nothing wrong with saying goodbye to that thing, be it a person or not, that is causing stress in your life. Nothing wrong with saying goodbye to it. You can always circle back when you're feeling strong and better, right? Yeah, you can always circle back. A lot of times we don't realize that when you disconnect, it's not that you're saying to the person you disconnect from, we'll never have a relationship, we'll never be friends. All you're saying is, no, we're in the time. No, it's not the right time.
Not right now. Not right now.
Not right now. That's what. Yeah, not right now. Not right now.
Give me a minute.
So,
just give me a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about protecting yourself, right? Covering yourself. What good are you, in terms of your responsibilities, if you can't manage you and take care of you, right? Everything else is neither here nor there,
Exactly.
So yeah. So Nadia, and I imagine back those days when you went to Afghanistan, I can imagine how stressful.
Listen, that was on stress level 1,000. I think that's probably why now it takes a lot for me to get over, stress. Coming from, being in the military, like I had to, for me in the military, I always had to be on a heightened sense of alertness, right? You have to be on a heightened sense of alertness. So even now, I am always still on a heightened sense of alertness, where if I'm not solving some problem or getting something done, or in the mix of something, I don't feel like I'm doing anything. So but that's twofold, right? Because sometimes you would say yes too many times, and now you're in the bucket of, perfect example, like I have a podcast, I have a magazine to get done, I got the rebranding of something to do, I got somebody else's flyer to make, and it's like, whoa, I said yes way too many times. So you have to understand when it's like, okay, I've reached my max of yes. Anybody else that came after this, it's a no. It's not no, it's just not right now, right? So you have to know when is that time to pause with the yes and say not right now, or just a flat out no if it doesn't align with you personally and what you have to go do. So I know one of the things that I still ended up with coming from the military is that heightened sense of alertness, because at any given moment you had to get up and react to the situation that you were in, right? So I pulled that into my personal life, but I think I pulled it in way too much because I'm always, on the go and I'm doing something. So that's something that, you have to know what you have to work on for self, right? And for me, I know I need to work on always on the go. It's like, do you rest? Like, and most of my clients are like, do you sleep? Do you rest? Like, when do you do that? Because I would like to know. So I'm still learning on how to rest. But like I said last week, I was like, okay, it's rest time for sure, right? And I took that minute to definitely rest. But I got to a too high of a point of being stressed to know that I needed a whole week to rest, right? So you don't want to get to that point. But my just advice is just knowing when to stop saying yes. That puts you in positions where you have to follow through with what you said yes to, right? You can't say yes and then like, oh, by the way, no, I don't want to do it no more, right? Because somebody is waiting on you to complete whatever you said yes to, right? So just for your own personal mental psyche, calculate the amount of times you're saying yes, so that you know you're not going to get into anything extra that you should not have gotten into, would be my advice.
So listening to you talk and that state of readiness that you're talking about, ready on the go, how did that translate into being a parent?
Oh, you don't want to talk to my son, Jabari. He will give you the stories. He would give you the stories. Sometimes his friends would say, no, oh, let's go do X, Y, and Z, and they're like, his whole way of getting out of things is, you don't have to go home to the mother named Nadia Monsano. Okay, I gotta go home to her. So and she was in the military, and then they were like, yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead and go home. But and because he's my only child, right?
Okay.
Ooh, I have now learned through him going off to college, right? That was a separation time that, it almost took me out, guys. I'm gonna be fully transparent, right? Because again, my only child, and now I'm sending you to a state that I'm not even in. So now my heightened sense of alertness is even higher, because, and again, I told you, he'll tell you the story. He knows, like, when you get into the home, you call me. When you are going out for an afternoon, just let me know where you're going. I don't care if you're in a whole other state from me. You just need to let me know, right? And I don't know if, again, yes, it's parenting 101 because you want to make sure your kids are good. But now he has been programmed to the point of, if he missed calling me that night, he called first thing in the morning. He'll call, I know. I should have called you last night. I know. Don't even say it. I'm okay. I promise I'm okay. Like, so he tries to catch me before I say something. But for me, it's just parenting and knowing where your kids are, especially if they're not in the same home with you anymore or the same state with you anymore. And the way our society is now, again, my heightened sense of alertness is definitely there when it comes to my son. Like, there will not be a day where I do not speak to him at all. Like, if for some reason, yes, some days I might finish working 1, 2 in the morning, before I go to bed, I'm still texting him, or he'll text me, I'm going to bed or whatever. I mean, I have to physically talk to him, but there's some kind of communication that happens so that I know he's okay.
He's okay.
And I have to know he's okay before I lay my head down to sleep at night. I have to know that he's home, sleep, in the bed, whatever, before I lay my head down to sleep. So yes, I still have that heightened sense of alertness when it comes to my child.
I want to hold on. How is that working with your coworkers?
Me and my coworkers? Ooh,
Yeah.
they know. They just know. They know me well now. They know me well. So one of my things that I drink a lot of tea. I don't know if anybody else, anybody else does. And for me, if I feel like I have too much going on, I'll drink some calamine tea and, get myself calm and things of that nature. So when I get on a call in the mornings, if my team doesn't see a cup next to me and they're like, okay, where's the calamine tea? We just need to make sure because we got to tell you something. So is the calamine tea in there at some point, So they know me well. They know how to operate with me well. One of them, I actually went to Bethesda when was I in Maryland? Like a week ago, I believe it was. And one of my coworkers, we actually met for the first time there because we work virtually most of the time. He literally brought me the lavender calamine tea as a gift and gave it to me. There was like, I need you to drink this next week because this week that we're going to be here in Bethesda, we got some things to do. You're going to need this tea. But yes, they work well with me.
He was preparing you.
He's preparing me. Yes.
Preparing you, indeed. You are a person out there doing things, making things happen, and taking on new tasks. For instance, you have this powerful anthology getting ready to come out. What is the feeling like when it's all done and over? What is the feeling like? And there's a reason why I'm asking.
What's the feeling like when I'm done? When the mission is accomplished?
Yeah, mission is accomplished, yeah.
There is a satisfying feeling that I get when the mission is accomplished, right? But, and again, as transparent as I can be, I know myself, I will enjoy that moment, but then I'm ready for whatever that next moment is, right? So you don't really stop and celebrate that moment in its entirety. And people tell me that. They're like, Nadia, do you realize what you do? Like, you really make impact, with your magazine line, with Phenomenal Woman, with, My Sister Keeper. Yeah, like it's just on to the next. So, and I realized that even with my son, right? Because he is in his business fraternity. He's the president of some business fraternity, and then he is doing his schoolwork, and then he's writing books, and then he's doing all these things, and he's not even 20 yet, right? And one of his friends, he called me the other day, and one of his friends says, wait, you're an author, you're the president of this, you're in honor society, you're doing all these things. And he's like, Mom, why do they think like that's such a big, and he got that, I noticed he got that from me, because he will accomplish these things, and I'm like, son, you have to celebrate yourself. But sometimes I gotta take my own advice, right? Because I'm ready for the next goal. Like, this anthology is getting ready to wrap up in May, and believe it or not, I got anthology number 2 on the shelf ready. As soon as May is done, we're hitting with the next anthology, because that's what's next for me with my author career. So I'm always thinking of what's next and what else can I get into and what to do next.
Do you know how to deal with the emptiness, the void that is created when one task is completed? How is that with you? How are you with that?
Oh, ask that again, Dr. Laxley.
When one task is completed, mission accomplished, and there's this void, how are you with that?
Again, I don't stay too long in the void moment, because I am always thinking of what am I going to be doing next, right? Because for me, what example can I give you, right? Like, I can't even think of a time where, and I see that you're pulling this from me. I can't even think of a time where I stopped and did absolutely nothing, celebrated a win, and not think of what else is next to do. I always, the person that's like, all right, well, what are we doing? I'm either partnering with somebody with an event, or I'm doing something on my own. I'm always on that go mode, right? So I definitely see, like, not stopping in the middle of the void of when that goal is accomplished, to literally bask in that, right? And enjoy that moment. Not to say that I'm not satisfied, I'm satisfied with the accomplishment of the task that I did, and I did it with excellence. I tried to make sure I deliver in excellence and do things in excellence. But it I don't stay too long in the void moment, so to speak. Like I told you, I'm ready for my next anthology. I'm just not ready, to talk about that yet, or my next business adventure in the financial literacy world. Like I just finished up the business plan for that, so
Ready to go, huh?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
If you're not doing it, then you don't feel as valued,
I don't.
And that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
Wow.
That's so a lot of people who are that's the same mindset are driving. When Donna, you are one of them kind of individuals as well. You always got something going on, something new, something next. And a lot of times you find that if I'm not doing, then I don't feel I'm
accomplishing nothing.
Yeah. And when you're really accomplishing a lot, but it's in your that if you're not out there making it happen, then boy, something ain't right. Something ain't right. And that's not the truth, Yeah, that's not the truth. So yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. So Donna, how do you deal with this stuff? You got so much going on.
Well, you know what? I can share an experience with you guys, right? I'm kind of like Nadia in the sense of for as long as I can remember, I'm always involved in something, doing several different things. I'm always doing a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm going to tell you, when I went to Kenya in was it last year? And basically, it was the weirdest thing. Basically, my mind shut down. I had nothing to do. Nothing to do, guys. So my mind went on like complete turn off. And when I came back home, I'm going to be honest, it took a very long time for me to get my brain reset and turn back on to function in the capacity I was functioning before I went to Kenya. It was almost like everything was like scrambled in my head, and I was trying to have to put everything, all the pieces to the puzzle back in. Now, mind you, it's not like I did anything at all. I just stopped doing stuff, right? Like my brain just stopped working when I went to Kenya. I mean, yes, I was there. I was physically there and interacting, but did not have all the things to do that I normally do. And I think that was when like I realized that was the first time that has ever happened to me. I've ever experienced something like that. And I realized that I really was having to work my brain to get back to where I was before, to get back on task. And I'm still like some days I'm still like, okay, wait a minute. What was I supposed to do again? So I find that was an experience that I had, and I've never had that happen to me before, when I actually had nothing to do and my brain was just shut down.
That is so interesting, because life is so different there, right? And it's not to mention the hours separating us. So when you don't realize how tired you are when you come back, and all you want to do is sleep. You find that you're sleeping a lot when you come back home, and you just it's almost like a switch when you go over there.
Yeah,
it's almost like U.S. Atlanta is no more.
Right.
You're in Kenya now, and that's where you're living. That's where your life is. Yes, you have responsibilities back home, but if you can even work in the phone call, you're doing great, right? But back home, it's not easy to work in. Pastor Lake says she can relate, because she sure can relate.
Right.
Yeah. So you're over there, and it's like, this is where I live right now. This is the work at hand, and whatever you're doing, that's where you're existing. And then when you come back to the United States, you have to be reintroduced back into your life here. So I think that's an experience that most people, especially if it's your first time, taking on something like that, we all experienced it. Because it took me a while to get back into the flow. And that's one of the reasons why I'm asking the void. How do you deal with it? Because I know for me personally, I intentionally go out there and find the next big thing to work on.
Mhm.
Or if I didn't, I feel as if I'm not functioning, I'm not performing.
Yeah.
And that's the honest truth. If even though you'll have achieved so much and you're doing so much, the moment you close that project out, if you don't find another one, you feel useless.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the point I was trying to get with you. Because both of you, I think we all have that in us to just want to be doing stuff. Maybe doing stuff we probably shouldn't even be doing something.
I just had that conversation with Nadia some days ago. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to like really relook at this stuff the end of the year.
Yep.
We like to do.
We got to redefine and put things in their right order, right perspective, right? Because something, again, yes, we try to find what's the next thing to do, but maybe we're finding too many things now, right, to get into doing. And then when they all come to a bubble, like you have timelines to get now all these different things to do because you done said yes to all these different things, then you get stressed out, then you get frustrated, like,
Right.
why did I say yes to this? Like, what was I thinking? So there's a balance. You got to have a balance for sure.
Yeah. And we're talking about stress again. And when you are out there wanting to perform and achieve, you got to be mindful. You got to have that balance because everything can wait. Almost everything can wait, right? Not,
Go, or people.
Yes, Lexi, I think it is. I think it is. It has to be a West Indian thing.
Oh my gosh.
That is
Yeah,
so
because it
good.
seems like we're always just like when we went to Kenya, people were just kind of like, this is what we did at this time, and then this is what we did at this time. Where with us, we're just always, and I don't know, also because of like just like what Lexi's saying, the culture in the Western world, it's the more you can multitask, the more skilled you are, or the more useful you are, right? So we have definitely developed these things inside of us where we're constantly doing several different things all at the same time.
And
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. But again, we're talking about stress and most importantly, managing it. Because at the end of the day, it's all about managing the stress. Donna, you said it. If you're living, you will experience stress.
Yeah.
If you're alive, you will experience stress. So it's about how we manage it, how we mitigate stress in our life, And that's an interesting comment there. And I don't even know if I should say this. A lot of times they say when you're from warmer climates, you tend to move a little bit slower. You're not out there and you're not just pushing, and maybe for good reason. It's hot. When it's hot, right?
Right.
When it's hot, it's not as easy to move around. But I know they used to say, "Is it Jamaica time you're on or real time?"
Yes.
They say that in Barbados too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really good time, because take our time to get there.
We take our time. Yeah, we take our time to get things done.
Yeah.
But
there's some good to that. Maybe it's not as stressful.
There you go.
Maybe you're not as efficient, but not as stressed.
You want to be as efficient, right? But you're not stressed, right? No stress.
So you choose. Yeah, but stress is a big thing, and we plan to explore that. We're going to bring on some experts, talk to us about stress this month, and because I think that's something that is, I'll tell you, the last week I received 2 texts from friends. One said he's gone, he's no longer with us, and the other one said he's gone. It's no longer with us. Big stuff. One it's happened suddenly. So you talk about stress, and so many people are having heart attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Young people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, young people. So a topic like this is so important.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important. Talk about healthy living is so important, right, Donna?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So whatever it is that we need to do, Nadia, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting that it's 1:29. It's in we're 1 hour and 29 minutes into the show, and that's how fast things move when we're
Yeah.
talking and having fun, as we
Yeah.
are.
Didn't even realize. See.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't believe it's an hour and a half already. Yes.
Hour and a half.
See, that's what happens when you bring me on and you'd make me tell all these stories, military stories, right? But
Yeah.
we had a good time.
Well, you have so much to talk about. We didn't touch on your financial piece. We didn't touch on most of your business. You know, we didn't talk about most of your business. So definitely you'll have to come back on when we can focus on one thing and not all things. Because
No,
we
no,
just touch on the
we
surface.
will take a little bit more than an hour if you want to go through my what I remember. I told you I go on to the next and to the next, so we
Mhm.
will take more time than that. But definitely a pleasure talking to you. And again, great topic about stress management. Especially now, there's so much things going on in the world right now that for me, I don't know about anybody else. Like, I will watch the news maybe Monday, Wednesday, but not the whole week because the news alone will get you all stressed out. The things that they're telling you, because I always realize that can the news just give me something positive to think about today? Like one part, are you trying to tell me in all the 8 hours in the day, you couldn't find one thing to report on that was, positive for me? It was who died, who got shot, what war is going on, I'm like, guys. So you got to be careful of what you're intaking as well, right?
Mhm.
Because I
Absolutely.
noticed it messed with my mood whenever if I watch the news too long or too often.
So they say it wouldn't be news if it was not bad.
Is that it? Is that it? Like, can we just get a
It's crazy,
right?
right?
Since 2010, like, so yes, sucked into that news and social. It's a thing, it definitely messed with your mental psyche for sure. Hey,
Yeah.
Jackie. Yeah.
Yeah. And that
Yeah,
is
So
true. Like you're saying, you got to be careful of what you're
putting in.
yeah,
putting in, what's in
Putting
your
in.
brain.
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah. You got
Yeah.
to be careful what you let in because some of it is gonna stay in.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's not all gonna pass through, right? Some of
Right.
Yep.
it, yeah. So you got to be careful about that, and that's why you know we like to get it out as opposed to internalize it.
There you go.
And that's why we're pushing it out. That's what your anthology is all about. And we
Mhm.
we need to post the link. Donna, if you have the link,
I
yeah,
will. I can. Yeah.
we
I
need to
can.
get the link out because we want to get people to start purchasing. Pre-order your book. Yeah, the big day is coming up, and remind me about the date again.
May 4th in Maryland. Mm-hmm.
Donna, I take it you'll be in Maryland.
I'm
She's
not.
virtually. I told Donna, listen, you better not call me to tell me you're gonna be in person, man. I have a virtual option just for you.
I so appreciate it.
You do not need to travel, okay? Because she has been on the go. So
Yes.
yes, yeah.
And Nadia, talking about that, it was so nice to meet your mother.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, when you brought her into Atlanta with you.
Yes, Atlanta. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it was so nice.
That is
She
And
had an
when
amazing time. She's like, "Oh my gosh, that was so really nice to join." I tried to bring her on the road with me when I can, so she definitely came to this one with me.
yeah, that was so nice. That was
and
so
that's good. Yeah, that's awesome.
That was so nice. So again, you're on in the spotlight. We're talking to this Nadia Monsano, and just an awesome, talented, energy packed, person doing all kinds of wonderful stuff in the nonprofit space, in the for-profit space. I know our organization, Global Humanity Network, we benefited from Nadia's work and all the good stuff which she's doing. Thank you, Nadia, again for the gift that you gave to our organization. It sure made a difference in so many people's lives, and that was a nice gift. We appreciate that, and for just you continue to do what you're doing and giving what you're giving. We really commend you for that. We can't give you another award tonight.
No. But just having me on your broadcast, I always hear about the spotlight, has been an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Yes. So we're over time. So Nadia, is there any parting words? Anything you'd like to say for us?
Of course, definitely. I admire your podcast that you have. I thank you for bringing me on. You always deliver some great messages and have some amazing guests that come on. And again, I can't wait to hear what you have to talk about with stress management, because I know it's definitely needed. It's a very important topic to talk about. So I can't wait for your experts to come on. Like, maybe they can teach me how to meditate or, do these type of things, because I need some help in that department, right? Like, I can give some advice, but I need that help from someone to this is how you meditate. Because I don't know about you. I tried the meditation, and in the first 5 minutes, I'm good. And then the next 2 seconds, I'm okay, but remember you had to do da-da-da-da. But when you open your eyes, you got to do da-da-da-da, right? So meditation was just not working for me. So, right. But we can try, we can try. But definitely, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to come on and talk to you all. I always have a good time when I do. And whenever you need a guest, I'm definitely be available.
And I tell you, not next Monday. Next Monday, we're having Donna, what's her last name? A politician. Yeah, she's coming on, and she's running for office in Gwinnett County. So she's coming on next Monday. And the Monday after that, we're going to bring the experts on, and we're going to invite you to come on as a guest speaker, and we're going to invite Pastor Alexia as a guest host, I should say, and then we'll have the expert on, so you'll firsthand be able to ask questions and join the conversation. That sounds good, Donna?
Yes.
We have both on as if they're available. I'm making some assumptions here.
We always got the what's next coming on, right? So let me check the calendar first.
Yeah, check the calendar. Even better, put us on what's next on your calendar. That's even better. How about that? So, but we really appreciate you so much for coming on and doing your thing. Donna, I'm gonna say my little piece, then you can close us out, right?
Okay.
There's a message that I want to bring to you today, and I believe it's one of urgency and hope. It is a call to action to live deliberately and passionately, recognizing that our physical conditioning is not a constant, it is a variable. And with time, age, and our ailments dictate what we can or cannot do. That's why we now need to just seize the moment and embrace the opportunities that life presents to us here today. Let us not delay anything that you want to do in life. If it's on your list, as Nadia says, she's always looking for next, go out, find what is next and execute, do it while you can. Because there are too many individuals out there saying, I wish I had. We're not in the business of saying, I wish I had done this. We're all about doing it, getting it done. If it's important, act like it is important. Create and add some urgency to your actions, to yourself. So that is my parting word tonight. Donna, it's all yours.
Alrighty, and I'd just like to say thank you, Nadia, for joining us this evening. It was definitely a pleasure, like always, having you with us. And to all our listeners and our followers, we appreciate you greatly for joining us this evening and always chiming in, on Mondays to hear the diverse conversations that we have here. And I hope this will inspire you to take action in your life so that you can, live your life to the fullest of your potential, right? And like always, check out our Thursday show, 7:30 p.m. on Thursdays, where you'll get to hear all about the gents till men. And they will be, going through their stuff and having all their guests on their show as well. And that's also a powerful show that I definitely encourage everyone to tune into and join on Thursday evenings at 7:30 p.m. And that is all I have for you guys, and hope you have a wonderful and blessed remainder of the week.
Right. And just so we have Positive Be White coming on Thursday. So with a name like that, what do you expect?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on. All right. So
help us with our stress.
Right.
Coming on Thursday, Positive Be White. And it's so interesting. I got a text from him, actually in the chat, said, "When can I get on?" So he claimed his spot. I had no choice but to say, "You're on."
There you go.
Because when somebody step up and say, "When can I get on?" What do?
Yeah, you got to clear the calendar.
You bring them on, right? And that's what is happening. So all right. So let's close it out. We're going to say good night, and please share the what do you call it, replay or whatever it is. Yeah, just share it, spread it out. Don't hold on to the information. Nadia, we had a wonderful conversation with you tonight, and as always, we just love you, and we can't wait to have you back.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna leave this with Shella performing, right, Donna? Is that cool?
All righty, that works for me. Perfect.
All right.
Blessings from Jamaica. This is Shella Top Star. Tonight I will be performing one of my latest single entitled Far. Yeah. Now, this song is a reflection of my life. However, I believe that this song can also be a reflection of your life. Enjoy. Far me I come from, and me know where me I go. Far me I come from, and me know where me I go. Me see the aim, me I navigate to success. Working smart, no rest. Me I see the progress. Want to achieve, so me give it my best.